Our next speaker is Hannah Kawaz. Hannah is the chairperson of the Canada-Palestine Association. Hannah has been organizing in Canada since the mid-1970s. He, with his partner Marian, began the weekly Voice of Palestine in 1987, I believe it was, Hannah, and co-hosted that show over the decades. Hannah's family was twice displaced, first in the Nakba in 1948 and again in 1967. Hannah has been very much a mentor to me, and I'm very thankful to be able to work in solidarity with Hannah through the Canadian BDS Coalition and international BDS allies. Hannah joins us today from Vancouver. Welcome, Hannah.
Thank you, Karen, and thanks to everyone on the panel and who was watching us on Zoom. I think I'd like to emphasize what Lubna said, that the root cause of the problem is the settler colonialist movement that's called Zionism. Because, you know, for them to settle in Palestine, they had to uproot the indigenous people of Palestine. And this is exactly what happened. So it's, you know, the supremacist mentality of this ideology allows it to do anything and everything, from committing war crimes to genocide to apartheid. And this is supported by the West in general, and in specific by the US, and Canada has played a major role in establishing this Zionist state in Palestine. Having said that, the right of return was adopted at the United Nations in December 11, 1949, where it's said that Palestinians has a right to return to their homeland. This resolution never been implemented till now. Not just that, the Zionist leaders publicly stated that they won't accept Palestinians to return to their homeland. In a meeting, cabinet meeting in June 1948, Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion stated, and I quote, "They," meaning the Palestinians, "lost and fled. Their return must now be prevented. Their return must now be prevented." That's Ben-Gurion. In 1992, Yitzhak Shamir declared that the return of the Palestinian refugees, quote, "will never happen in any way, shape, or form. There is only a Jewish right of return to the land of Israel," end of quote. That was Yitzhak Shamir, another prime minister. 5 months after passing the right of return resolution 194, Israel in May 11th, exactly 5 months to the date, May 11th, Israel was accepted to the United Nations by a resolution 273. 273 basically is a fraud resolution on 2 levels. First, it stated that Israel is a peace-loving state. After all the crimes and the genocide they committed in 47-48, the United Nations decides that Israel is a peace-loving state. You know, this is one fraud. The other fraud, they stated that Israel promised that it would honor its obligation under Resolution 181 and Resolution 194. Resolution 181 is the partition plan where Israel took a quarter of Palestine in addition to what's allotted to it in Resolution 181, from 56% given to the so-called Jewish state. They occupied 78% of the land. And, you know, there, the Abba Iban was the representative at the United Nations then in 1949, and he promised that Israel will honor its obligation under these two resolutions, the right of return and the partition plan. You know, it's a fraud because, I mean, if you want to accept a state, you first ask it to implement this resolution, not on a promise, on a fraud promise from the settler colonialist entity that was established, and not, as Haidar said, it demolished in 1948 over 500 towns and villages in Palestine. They wiped them out of the map of the earth. Also, they ethnically cleansed 2/3 of the Palestinian population. And the United Nations decided that Israel is a peace-loving state. I mean, what a joke, what a fraud. So these two things, you know, I mean, if you want to really follow the letter of the resolution of 273, Israel shouldn't be a member organization because they didn't implement what they promised to implement in during the debate about this resolution 273. Again, this is not new to Israel. They lie and they fabricate things.